Genshin could never. Genshin could never. Genshin shills are crying because their game is outdated. I'm gonna sing that theme song every fucking video. Every video I'm gonna sing that to you guys. To give you guys a constant reminder as to why Genshin shills are called Genshin shills for a reason. And these niggas just keep taking L's, man. You being a Genshin shill, you automatically hold the L. Here's your L. Because when I see things like this happen to HSR, all I can say is Genshin could never. That's all I can say. So I literally just woke up, right? I just woke up. Today's a long day for me, but I just woke up and I got a lot of text messages on my phone. People are literally spamming my phone telling me that HSR, they implemented a skip method in for the story for HSR. So if you are not enjoying the story, you can somehow skip it. So we have this developer radio 3.0 Euphoria special edition. We're gonna read all of this, man. We're gonna read all of this. This is crazy. And once again, HSR, this game hasn't been out for 2 years. This game has been out for 1 year. 1 year, and they're doing all the things that Genshin could never do. For some odd fucking reason, right? Oh, Genshin is making the most money in the revenue charts. Alright, it's making the most money now. Why the fuck is the game still outdated? Insane. But let's go ahead and read this. Following the launch of version 3.0, the Express crew has received an array of feedback from Trailblazers during their exploration of the new world. Some of this feedback concerns issues with Trailblazers' experiences with the story and exploration. We will be making adjustments and optimizations to address these issues with the aim of bringing Trailblazers a smoother journey experience. So, let's read it. So, Trailblaze mission story issues. So, they're pretty much talking about the story, like a lot of people complaining about the story for Euphorius, and here's their response. We have received feedback from Trailblazers that the Euphorius main story contains excessive lore exposition and too much reading, resulting in feelings of fatigue and tedium. Euphorius has a complex design, and during development, we wanted to ensure that the information supporting it was as complete as possible. However, the result has presently failed to meet Trailblazers' expectations. In response to this feedback, we will address the root of the issue by reducing design-related explanations in the story. In upcoming versions, Trailblazers will have the option of skipping this content so that they may experience the main story in a more relaxed manner. So they're not saying that they're going to implement a skip button for you to skip the entire story. They're pretty much going to optimize the story so that if there's a whole, like, let's say you're talking to I forgot what this guy's name was again. Who is this again? One of the Crisis heirs. I forgot his name. Oh, Phanon, right? Phanon. Let's say Phanon, he's giving you, like, he's saying a whole bunch of nonsense that doesn't really correlate to the story. You can choose to skip that now, which is really good. Now, the thing is, they haven't implemented this feature in the game yet, so we don't know how it's going. Like we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, how many times we'll be able to skip it. But this is a great start. They're pretty much, reducing unnecessary dialogue in the main story, which is very, very good. And we continue, says, taking version 3.0 as an example, the progress from the beginning of the story to Okama contains a lot of dialogue with information on the end times, Titans, Crisis Heirs, and Miracles. Following adjustments, Trailblazers will be able to choose whether to talk to relevant characters to obtain this information. So it says pre-adjustment, and then for adjustment, post-adjustment, you can choose to skip over Phanon and him yapping. To give another example, when facing Ornyx's trials in the Abyss of Fate, Trailblazers must try 3 different methods. Placing the flaming lance and bat standing on top and attacking the scales weighing pan to complete the Titan's test. Following adjustments, these 3 attempts will become optional, thereby greatly simplifying progress and improving the flow of the story. Wow. So now you guys can see it says I'm out of ideas. So you can choose to skip unnecessary parts of the story. So I know the number one argument for these Genshin shows are going to be like, well, you guys are going to skip, necessary information. No, they're pretty much saying that they're going to condense the story. They're going to take out the unnecessary dialogue. If you don't want to listen to that, you have the option to skip it so that you can have a better experience with the story, which is really, really good, because that's one of our main problems when it comes to HSR story. The story is good, it's just that the storytelling is fucking dog shit, and we want the option to skip unnecessary dialogue. That's all we want. And it seems like they're actually listening. We continue, it says, at the same time, we will also look to arrange and present missions in a more reasonable manner and reduce tedious narrative experiences like the black screen with white text. So this is one of the main things a lot of people complain about when it comes to them putting a black screen and then putting a text in the middle to pretty much summarize what took place. That's actually pretty lazy. That's really, really lazy. And the fact that they're addressing the situation is a great start. But of course, I want to see them put this in the game. They can say this all they want until this is added in the game. Like, I can't really say much, but this is great. The fact that they're actually addressing these issues and they're saying, all right, here's our solution to this. Really, really good. You see, at least we're getting a response from the devs. Meanwhile, for Genshin, it's like, all right, Natlan's story came out. Do they even have this? Like, do they even have a 5.4 Natlan special edition developer radio? Fuck no, they don't, because they don't care, right? They don't care. The story is peak. If you don't like the story, you just have bad taste. You see, that's how Genshin works. Meanwhile, for HSR, they're like, all right, we see what you guys are talking about. We can definitely do better when it comes to storytelling. We're gonna try our best to actually fix it. You see, that's the response of a true dev. Let's continue. Mission puzzle solving issue. So a lot of people also had issues with the puzzle solving. Me too. I think the puzzles were really annoying in the story. There were too many puzzles, especially the part with Fanon and Madei. That shit was annoying. But let's continue. The Euphoria's main story contains some unique stage gameplay, and our aim was for Trailblazers to experience the rules and design of the world both through the content of the story and through this gameplay. However, in practice, we should have achieved a better balance between puzzle solving and story. With puzzles also containing too many steps, this too often resulted in puzzle solving interrupting the flow of the story and detracting from the experience. And the response to this is, to tackle this issue, we will optimize main story puzzle solving designs and provide simpler and more direct solutions for some puzzles. Now, some people might say, well, this just shows that HSR players, you guys simply lack, you guys don't have you guys pretty much have short attention span, and you got PP brain, so therefore you don't want to solve these puzzles. That's not the problem, right? The problem isn't the puzzle itself. The problem is that it's the placement of these puzzles. Let's say we are trying to go fight one of the titans, right? We were trying to go fight one of the titans, us and Madei, right? And Fanon. Throughout the entire time of us trying to go fight the titan, it was just puzzles. It was like probably 30 minutes or 40 minutes of puzzles. It was actually insane. Like, the time it takes for you to complete these puzzles just to continue the story is just it just takes way too long. That's the main problem. So this is actually pretty good. We continue, says, taking version 3.0 as an example, in the Bloodbath Battlefront, Castrium Kremna's Soul Forging Zone, Trailblazers must complete the drawn-out task of restoring 4 Soul Forging statues to piece together Nikador's divinity. Following adjustments, Trailblazers will be able to choose to talk directly with Neas, I think that's how you say it, and complete the mission objective in a more Kremnon fashion. So now, instead of them putting us through like a freaking puzzle prison, we now have the option to actually, complete the objective without going through, that puzzle fest, which is really, really good. Similarly, before reaching the Soul Forging Zone, Trailblazers must complete a series of drawn-out puzzles to proceed to the final battle. Following adjustments in some of the puzzle-solving rooms, Trailblazers will be able to choose to progress the story in a more Kremnon fashion by talking to Neas and engaging in battle. So they're pretty much giving us an option. They're not saying that they're completely removing puzzles, but if you don't want to do these puzzles, you can choose to just immediately talk to whichever NPC you have to talk to continue the main story. Absolutely amazing. That's really, really good because for the people who actually want to solve puzzles, let them have their puzzles. But for people who don't want to solve these puzzles and they want to complete the story in an orderly fashion way, let them do that. And this is a great solution by giving us an option and letting us continue the main story efficiently. At the same time, we will optimize the lengthy and complex map pathing for the main storyline's exploration. The overly concentrated enemy placements in certain areas will be reduced to prevent enemies from frequently interrupting map exploration and puzzle solving. This aims to enhance Trailblazers' experiences throughout the main storyline. You see, now this right here is also pretty good because, I will say when it comes to enemies in the open world, we don't really approach them at all because they don't really give you, meaningful resources, right? So them reducing the amount of enemies you see in the open world is actually pretty good because their solution to this was, oh, if you want to avoid getting attacked by enemies, you would have to summon for Ushuan, right? Because she has a shield. Or you would have to summon for Akron so she can destroy them immediately. So the fact that you don't have to summon for characters to deal with these characters without entering a whole fucking battle, they're pretty much going to reduce the amount of enemies you see in the open world so that they won't interrupt your map exploration. Really, really good. You guys can see a pre-adjustment, post-adjustment, pretty much removing these enemies. Okay, so to reduce any negative experiences caused by the above issues and make sure the overall quality meets everyone's expectations, we are continuing to polish and fine-tune upcoming versions of the game. Regarding existing content for version 3.0, we will proceed with the aforementioned adjustments. We anticipate these adjustments will take effect from version 3.2. So this is not going to be added into the game immediately, but I don't give a fuck. As long as the devs are actually listening, they're taking notes, and they're responding, I'm satisfied. I am satisfied. Optimizing the story, optimizing gameplay. What else can I say? Really, really good. This is a great start. And we continue. Enforius is a year-long journey, and these story and puzzle-solving optimizations are just the beginning. The Express crew will continue to optimize content. We're excited to bring everyone bigger and better journey experiences. To name some examples, we will be adding richer combat gameplay and challenge goals to the game. In addition, issues close to Trailblazers' hearts, including difficulty deploying older characters on the battlefield and the strengthening of these older characters, are already on the schedule. Stay tuned for future content updates, Trailblazers. Trailblazer feedback has always been extremely important to the Express crew. Thank you for your ongoing support. See you again on the next developer radio update. Give a round of applause. Round of applause because, you see, here's the thing, guys. This is what happens when you criticize a game. This is what happened when you sit in front of your computer, you open up OBS Studios, and you make a video criticizing HSR. Not even just HSR, but any game. This is what happens. When you criticize a video game, the devs will respond and they will say, okay, we understand your complaints. Here's our solution for the game so that you can continue to enjoy the game. That's how criticism works. But of course, when it comes to Genshin cucks, the way that their brain works is if you're not enjoying the game, it's your fault. You see, Genshin is a great game. There are no flaws with the game. They're making $99 million. The game is absolutely amazing. If you don't like the game, whose fault is that? Is it the dev's fault? No, it's your fault. You're the reason why you're not enjoying Genshin Impact. That's the issue with the game, and that's exactly why Genshin could fucking never. This right here is amazing. This is a great start. They didn't necessarily say that they added a skip button, but they're pretty much optimizing like the main story. They're optimizing the main story, and they're pretty much taking out the unnecessary dialogue, because that was the biggest complaint when it comes to the main story. That was my biggest issue with the story, is that there's too much unnecessary dialogue. The story is good. It's just that there's a lot of moments in the story where characters will just go off track and talk about random shit that don't even matter, and it would drag it, right? So this is a great start, man. Great start. Hopefully, later on in the future, they actually have a skip button. But, this is like the fact that they're implementing a skip method in the game. Really, really good. Pretty much optimizing the main story so that you can stay on topic with these characters and you can experience the main story efficiently. This is great, man. This is great. This is really, really good. And let's talk about this last part right here. Then pretty much talking about the power creep situation, because they said, in addition, issues close to Trailblazers' hearts, including difficulty deploying older characters on the battlefield, and the strengthening of these older characters are already on the schedule. So they're pretty much coming up with a plan to figure out how to fix the power creep issue in HSR. Very, very good, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. If they didn't include power creep in this, I would be kind of iffy, but at the same, this would be iffy. But the fact that they actually address that is really, really good, because the fact that people summon for these old characters and they still want to use them in future content, you guys definitely need to do something about that. And it seems like they are going to they'll give us some more details in the future as to what they're going to do when it comes to power creep and HSR. So hey man, this is great. Once again, communication from the devs, perfect when it comes to HSR, actually answering our feedback, responding to our feedback, and coming up with a solution. Very, very good. So let's go ahead and end the video with our theme song. Genshin could never. Genshin could never. Genshin shills are crying because their game is outdated.